Hello, my name is Josely Cruz Galera, and the reading strategy I chose is Story Impressions. What is Story Impressions? Story Impressions is a strategy that is done prior to reading a text or watching a video or any story chosen. Story Impressions gives the reader clues about the story in the order in which they appear. The students make a prediction by using these clues. Also, story impressions is an effective pre-reading or pre-writing activity because it provides the reader with some information or words that are relevant to the story. With this evidence, the reader can then create a prediction about what the story will be about. Theory and rationale for the strategy. According to the article written by Brown, Denner, and McGinley, 1989, providing the reader with this information gives him or her the opportunity to increase the proximity between the author and the reader. By providing the reader with this information, he or she can begin making a prediction of how the characters are and how this might affect the story. Then, as the student reads the story, he or she can confirm their predictions and/or change them. The student is more likely to retain the information, and comprehend the story. Materials needed. So for the materials needed, I included a book or any written piece of text that you would like to use for the lesson. Index cards or sentence strip paper. This will be used to write down the words that you take out from the story. Again, these words are any words that are important, like characters or the setting or anything related to the problem, if this is a lesson for reading. And then also the anchor chart paper. This will be used by the teacher to model the strategy, meaning that whenever the teacher is using the words in their prediction, then this way the students can see it in a big paper. Also, for number 4, story elements anchor chart, I provided an example of this on the following slide. Also, a recording sheet for the students or a blank sheet of paper. It's really up to you if you want to provide the words written down on the flowchart sort of type, or you can just have the students write it down on a piece of paper or the journal, however you want. And number 6, the pocket chart. Also, it's to put in the words. It's really up to you. I know that another way to do it without the pocket chart is just putting the index cards or the sentence strip and then just putting arrows going down. Now, these materials I just mentioned are to do the lesson mostly as a whole group lesson. After having many times of practice, you want to have the students do it alone, then possibly each student could have the book to do it independently, and they could do it with a partner too. Or it's really up to you, but honestly, this strategy needs to be practiced just like any other strategy before allowing the students to do it independently. These are examples of some of the materials I just mentioned. The anchor chart shown is an anchor chart over story elements, which includes character, setting, problem, and solution. The 10 to 12 words you choose, or it can be less words depending on the complexity of the story, need to be related to any one of these elements. Now, if you're not doing a reading lesson, then it will be a little different. Also, if the lesson is over a nonfiction, of course, you won't have characters, but you will have other important information, maybe snakes, maybe animals, any other type of animal. Then also here's a pocket chart. Now for the flow chart that you're seeing right now, this is just another way to display it to the students on the board if you don't want to use a pocket chart. Explanation of procedures. The first time the strategy is used, it is best for the strategy to be done in whole group. First, let the students know that they will be reading a story for which they will be provided clues or important words that will be important to the story. Let them know that they will be creating a prediction about what the story will be about by using these clues. When choosing the words or the phrases, make sure it's either a single word or 2 to 3 word phrases. Also, when I read the book, it said that you can provide anywhere from 10 to 15 clues total. I think it really also depends on the grade level you do and also the complexity of the story. Also, if you want, you can provide the title of the book. Personally, I would not do this because this will create even a greater interest on reading the story. After you have informed the students of what they will be required to do, then one by one show the students the words and explain the word as needed. For example, if there's a vocabulary word that the students are not familiar with, then this will be the right moment to explain it. By doing this, you're pre-teaching the students the vocabulary that they will be exposed to. Then, as each word is displayed, prompt the students to think about questions such as, could blank be the setting? Could blank be the name of a character? These are just a few examples. Then, after all the words are uncovered, begin separating the words by story element. Meaning you could take the words off of the flowchart or just rewrite them on the story elements anchor chart. If you do not want to use the story elements anchor chart, then it's your choice. I would use it especially for the little ones so they start seeing the connection. So for example, if we were doing an unfamiliar story, like let's say we didn't know the 3 little pigs, then some of the words or the 2 to 3 word phrases I would use could be build a house. That would be one of the phrases. Another word could be pigs. Another word could be blow, and etc. Many more could be used. After all the words are separated into a section of the story elements anchor chart, let the students know that now they will be using the clues provided to write a prediction about the story. However, since for the first time this will be a whole group lesson, then the teacher will begin writing the prediction paragraph by first modeling and then, if the students are ready, allowing them to participate in the writing. Finally, after completing the prediction, the teacher will remind the students to keep in mind their prediction as they listen to the story. At the end, the teacher and the students can have a discussion about how their prediction and the story were similar or different. Students who would benefit from this strategy. All students could benefit from the strategy. However, low-level readers will benefit the most. These students will benefit the most from this strategy because most of the time, these are the readers that do not make a prediction prior to reading a story. With this strategy, these readers will be provided with a guide that will help them create these predictions. By doing this, the readers will be able to have a better understanding of the story. Furthermore, any student could benefit from this strategy. In conclusion, this strategy could be used in any content area in which the student is required to read. This strategy will benefit struggling readers because it provides them with a framework in which they can follow to support them in comprehending what they read. Moreover, eventually, this will become a good habit they will have as good readers. Another reason why this strategy is a good strategy to use is because it could also help engage students in the book prior to reading it. The students will be very curious to know what the story is about after providing the terms.